Okay, this is video 15. VR Maestro introduces a very detailed competitive analysis of Baltimore marketplace. This video gives an overview of the analysis and the marketplace. It introduces the most significant competition with troubling features related to their profiles and their business. $3 million of properties was put in service in 2017 in approximately one quarter square mile area in a very illogical manner. Those properties are not coming close to the bookings needed to break even. The investment group that owns the properties has not added them to Airbnb to stop the bleeding. One Airbnb-centric investor is getting amazing coverage on both Airbnb and VRBO, although he's likely done zero business via VRBO to his price points. Likewise, his errant VRBO listing has headline errors that VRBO had decided not to ask him to correct. Okay, I'm going to say this several times. I ended the last video with this, and I'm going to start these videos with this. I did not go looking into my competition at this level because I was curious. I know my numbers. This is math. It's basic math. It has nothing to do with emotion or how I feel or somebody's potential. It's just business. Business is math. Okay. I have 10 years worth of math that tells me when I did well, when I didn't do well, what my numbers were. I also know sales. I know exactly what I had to do to get those numbers, okay? So when I see people come with what is theoretically a comparable box compared to if my house is a box, they've got a similar box. I have an idea of what they need to do to break even. I have an idea of what they should be seeing. And I have an idea of competition and marketplace, and none of this makes any sense. That you would never drop 7 properties within a quarter square mile area unless you know something we don't, like, they're going to build a new stadium or they're going to build a new metro center. So the level to which this stuff stood out is it's shocking. So that's what started the digging process. Now, I had started looking at some of my other competition. You'll see it in a little bit. As I said, in 2016. So I started looking at KHG properties more heavily in 2016. I started looking at Isaac Guerrero, it looks like, in 2016. I started paying attention to Susan Caldwell's bookings in 2016, in addition to other people that were in my area. But the other people I said, hey, look, they're just they're competition. But so here's where we're going to go with this. I'm going to show you again how this thing works. If we're video 15, we come down to video 15 here. And we're going to get a little tip as to where we're going. Review the video intro details, which is what I just did. Then we're going to go to about my competition, and we're just going to review the menu. So about my competition, and here's what I've got for you. First, we've got the players and the general market maps. Okay, on this link, I'm going to go over who the competitors are that kind of raise my antennas, and I'm going to go over the general market of Baltimore. In this one, I'll go over the VRBO maps in detail. As far as in this one, I'll go over the Airbnb maps in detail. And in this one, after you've gotten introduced to these, I'll go through the competitive analysis. And this provides the competitor details, which basically were aggregated into the competitive analysis. Okay. From here, realistically, you could hop to the executive summary. That was written next. And then I'll have some dashed or dotted lines, and we'll come down to TriStar Investing and some seeming connections to the Hilton family of hotels, and then explain how that ties into how Expedia could be voluntarily or otherwise working with Hilton hotels via their number one investor, which is Vanguard. Vanguard's the number one investment company in both Expedia and Hilton. So there's certainly a lot of reasons that Expedia would be forced to or encouraged to help out little TriStar Investing in Baltimore. And my suspicion is that this might be a microcosm of the macrocosm. My suspicion is that if you all look into your urban markets, you would see this same phenomena happening in 30 or 40 or 50 of our biggest cities in the country. Although it might be harder there because there might be more rentals in general. Oops, I got to hide this thing. So that's our competition. About my competition, I think I'm going to wrap this up. There's one other thing I wanted to say about this. I'm going to hit pause. Okay, I remember what it was. You're going to see the details down here, but I wanted to introduce the concept to you. The way that I tracked my competition was I started screenshotting their calendars on or around the first of every month. I would go take a screenshot of their calendars, which actually gave me a shot of 4 calendars at a time, the current month and the next 3. And then what I would do is I would track. I have a little spreadsheet, and I would track, how many bookings they had as the months went on. So, for October until January, with VRBO, it's very, very rare that you get a booking within 30 days. At least it is for me in the urban area for, 10 years of doing this. It maybe once or twice a year I might get that. Usually if I wasn't booked 30 days out, I wasn't going to get it. The only way I filled those was Airbnb. So if I take a snapshot at the beginning of the month, that's a pretty good gauge of how well they're going to do that month. It just is. So I have 5 months worth of that. And then in February 2nd or 3rd or 4th, I took screenshots for February, but I also took screenshots for the February, March, April, then May, June, July, August to project out, where their bookings are now. Obviously, those things are much less accurate. But when you see the volume of zeros there versus somebody who's booking up, it should become apparent that things are dramatically wrong. So this wraps up the intro to the competitive analysis. The next video, we'll get going with it.